Hi, it's Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How is everybody? Um, I'm going through a struggle like we mentioned the other day. Like we're definitely up and down and around and round and round with how we're trying to work through whatever's the storm that we're in right now. But I want to say a big thank you to for all your beautiful messages of support, and I suppose this is the beauty of belonging to a collective like we're in, is understanding how intense these moments play out for people, and the love and support that has come back our way as we go through our struggle has really been touching, really touching, and just you know helps me take a deep breath and remember why I'm here and what I'm doing. And when I get into those moments that are real struggle feel, I let myself cry, let myself break down, let myself have the moments that hurt, and and let the energy move. Um, but I do want to continue to track the energies and see what is playing against us, or why have we found ourselves in these tough energies. Hang on, that's going to keep shaking. Just wanted to make sure that table wasn't going to shake throughout the reading. But let's just get into it. So what's playing out right now, and what Ricky and I are in the thick of. We've had negative patterns play out in our connection before that, I honestly, with all my heart, believe we'd come to conclusions on, that we'd understood them and we'd found a place of peace with them. But along comes Saturn. It's been in retrograde, so essentially energy's been allowed to play and learn and grow. But now the headmaster's back in the room, and we have to go, what have you learned from all those lessons? Throw into that mix, we're going into another eclipse. And this eclipse is a partial solar eclipse in Scorpio. And the energy connected to that is it's designed to light up our intended path. So it illuminates any truths that were in the dark. It's designed to remove obstructions. But the energies that it really emphasizes, because we're connected to Scorpio particularly, is the energies of fear and obsession, jealousy, and attachment. All of those things as twins that we're trying to we have our struggles with, right? Right, we do. Okay, so in, in the eclipse, this partial solar eclipse, which is on the 25th of October, we've got the North Node in Taurus, which is, it's all about the direction that we're heading in life, and the South Node is in Scorpius, which is the energies that we're being challenged to release. So we're going to look into these energies of fear, obsession, jealousy, and attachment. And I can let you know, Ricky and I are in the thick of it, like up to it, in our eyeballs, to our eyeballs. But the other thing that's playing out, we've had Venus tip into Scorpio, which means we're moving into deeper soul-based connections on that front as well. So, the energy there is it's like an all or nothing kind of an energy. And so anything that sits in fear, obsession, jealousy, attachment, those kinds of energies is going to be shaken down under these energies. And anything work that we thought we'd done that hadn't actually been done. Like I said, the headmaster, Saturn's gone direct as of the 23rd. The headmaster's back in the room, the pop quiz is on the table, and it's time to answer some big questions and see where we all sit. So, with that energy on the board, let's have a look. I'm going to read from perspective of divine feminine first and see what's going on there. Then we'll add in, through a few. We'll add in the divine masculine cards and do some divine love oracle over the top and see what we come up with. Let's get ourselves a reading. Righto. What have we got? Okay, let's do this. The moon. I'm not kidding, am I? Like the moon with the eclipse season. We're definitely, anything that's in the shadows is going to have its moment. Queen of Swords. Yeah, look, here comes our wanting to cut away any bullshit. Five of Cups. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that energy in my soul space right now. The Strength card. Interesting that comes up as a challenge. We've got the Three of Cups, which is very hopeful energy, and we've got the Five of Wands, so that bit of friction. So let's have a look what the push is from underneath the deck. We've got the Seven of Wands, the Ace of Cups, we've got the Knight of Swords, we've got the King of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. So this is why is that? I like them to look straight. It's one of my annoying little things. Okay, so the 6 cards from the bottom of the deck. Let's have a look. We've got the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. So Seven of Cups is all about all the options that are on the table right now, right? So it's looking into the direction we are heading, which is that North Node in Taurus energy going, what is it that I'm actually going to do? Where am I actually? What is my destiny? So when the Seven of Cups comes through, it's like we don't actually know what's in those cups, right? So it's picking one up and drinking it, finding out what's in it. And if it's toxic, we've got to spit that toxic water out. We're not going to drink toxic water. We're going to find our way to drink the cups that are, full of the right kind of energy, the kind of energy that lifts us up, moves us forward, and pushes us further along on our ascension path. So when we're sifting through the options that we have in front of us and we're asking the direction that we're heading, we have to know which one of these cups to release. And that South Node Scorpio energy is going, which cup are we going to release in favor of the cups we're going to move forward on? Queen of Pentacles says we've got some work to do, Divine Feminine. If we thought that this energy was going to let us off scot-free, I don't think that, that's it's not part of the equation. We've got work to do. We've got to test what's working for us and what's not. It's not okay to settle for energy that is still remains toxic. So the Queen of Pentacles has got some work to do, and the King of Cups is action-based also. So we have this masculine energy connected to love, and here we've got this feminine energy connected to work. So it's an interesting little mix there. Let's have a look at the next layer of energy, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. So Divine Feminine, we probably are going to be having conversations about what fresh new starts look like, but we do have this layer of defensive energy playing out. So it is understanding what it is that's in these options. I think this is a really powerful card to come out under the energy of the eclipse, that partial solar eclipse, which is on the 25th, so it's nearly upon us. And there's the North Node in Taurus around our destinies and the South Node in Scorpio going, what are you going to release? Where are you tied to fear, obsession, jealousy, and attachment? Where do you need to do the work around the actions you're taking around love? This masculine energy connected to love and the feminine energy connected to work. So we've got work to do to sort this out. The next layer says conversation is coming or information is coming. We're charging ahead on our ability to converse about what this Ace of Cups looks like. Now, if you followed our readings, you'll know that I see the Ace of Cups as not just a fresh start in love. I see it as understanding yourself, understanding the divine, and understanding your counterpart. So it is essentially a fresh start in love, but it's more, I see it more on that divine level, not just in the romantic sense, but it has far more sway. So you have this cup just fully runneth over, and it's like when I talk about spirit, like the waters of spirit, just your cup runneth over. You are going to understand yourself, your connection, your connection to the divine. All of this is designed to get you to have your cup runneth over with regard to, divine love energy. It is universal, it is unconditional, and it is limitless. We have to be able to give that energy to ourselves as well as we give it to others. So the challenge then sits with the Seven of Wands going, what hesitance or what resistance, what friction are we feeling resistant to in the conversations that come forward? How are they not serving us in understanding the truth of who we are and where we're going? Because remember, we've got that push from the eclipse going, where are we headed, connected to our destinies? And we've got this little bit of resistance, which means probably a time of some serious reflection about all of the connections that are coming towards us. I do see this as energy coming towards us because we do have that Knight of Swords. So it feels like information comes towards us designed to move us into more understanding. But when it comes through, there's definitely a wall of resistance going. I need a minute to learn and grow under this energy. I need a minute for those energies to settle in and push through. Now, the push from the universe, look, I'm not kidding, am I, with this eclipse energy? The moon comes in. Like, not even joking. This energy is as intense as anything we've been through. And October was going to rock us. We're going to call it Rocktober because it was designed to September had destiny written all over it. October was like rock and roll. Because at the end of the month, like I said, Saturn was returning, ending its retrograde and going direct with the headmaster comes back into the room. Now, Aquarius that it sits in is free flowing energy, but Saturn is a taskmaster. So it's like while it sat in retrograde, it pretty much allowed the energy to flow with activities essentially unchecked. There wasn't like an exam situation. So, but when the headmaster comes back into the room, it says to all the students, what did you learn? Here's the test. Are you going to pass or fail? Not that it's a pass or fail. You are where you are, but that's what it feels like, that you get put through like your finals, like going, have you learnt what I needed you to learn? Did you study? While I was out of the classroom, did you have your head in the books and learn and grow? And if you haven't, then I'm here to rattle your cage. So, and then you put into the energy of these eclipses, which are going, what do you need to release and where are you heading? Throw into the mix that it's in Scorpio, which emphasizes fear, obsession, jealousy, and attachment. That sets the stage for some pretty intense scenarios. So the Queen of Swords comes in and goes, you're not going to be silent about what you need to cut away. So the Queen of Swords, she can be the bitch card of tarot. She just does not tolerate anything that is not in alignment with her truth and her intentions. And not to throw Ricky under the bus, but this is kind of where we've sat going, you know, negative patterns that we thought had been released. They've risen up again for another round of introspection, and it's not something that I can sit in alignment with. And the push is on me, the same it's on you, whoever's watching this and whoever it resonates with, that when these options come forward and you're going, which cup do I drink from? Sometimes you do have to sit in the energy of the Queen of Swords and you have to go, this is not in alignment with the truth of our connection. It's not in alignment with the truth of where, if you're, like if you're not in contact with your divine masculine, if you're not having conversations essentially about what you're not in alignment with, you'd be having this in a private setting, what you're working through, and you're looking at your connection, go, that really does not align with me. The way that this connection is playing out under this current energy, it's really not aligning with me. And under the moon energies, it will be exposing where those patterns exist. Now, Pluto went direct in Capricorn early in October, on the 8th of October. So that energy sort of pushed this idea of going to leave behind negative patterns. But then you add into the mix everything that's happening at the end of October, and it was designed to rock our world. Now, Five of Cups, gee, this is a tough one to fall into the soul space, isn't it? But I'm feeling this to my bones, feeling it to my bones. So much like disappointment, so much effort, so much, I don't have to explain these feelings, do I? What it feels like to fall back into separation and to have your backs turned to each other, knowing your connection sits in the middle there, knowing that the connection is safe and sound and it's held with the divine, but you in your physical bodies just can't seem to align with it. And it brings, it brings around that feeling of despair and disappointment, and knowing that you have to go on your path separately for the moment. It rips your heart out of your chest and goes, I don't want to be sitting in this energy, but it's happening for a reason. To put the Five of Cups in our soul space in the reading today, like If you're feeling it, you're feeling it divine feminine, and you're feeling the distance, you're feeling the disconnection, you're feeling that the headmaster's come back in the room and we're sitting in separation. You see that, that the eclipse wants to push us even into tougher energy yet again, and asking us to sit in this space where, it's a little bit bitch, a little bit ice queen, a little bit going, I know what I need to cut away to serve the union. So if that's resonating for you too, I'm feeling you. Here, inner strength. The challenge right now is to draw on inner strength, because the fear comes in is like going, will these connections ever come online in a way that we can hold them? For all the work that we do, for all the efforts that we put into them, it's like sometimes it can be really, really hard to lean back on the faith that these connections have purpose. It just feels like sometimes they're just here to drive us bananas. But I suppose this is the kicker, is I'm far enough down the journey now to know that separation serves, and whatever this current round of energy is meant to serve the divine feminine, it is challenging our ability to have strength, it's challenging our ability to have faith, it's challenging our ability to continue to move forward on these journeys. But the advice from spirit, right? The advice from spirit is don't quit, right? This is a card of celebration. This is a card of coming together. This is a card of good times. The advice from spirit is, see there, you've got the cups that you are supposed to be drinking from. And these cups aren't toxic. They're celebratory. They're you, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, all celebrating together and drinking from the cup that is designed to move us further down this path of mission. But the likely outcome under this energy is that there's still friction. There's still something that is out of alignment. So if unions are not online in a harmonious way, it's because there's still a point of friction that exists between the connections. So what we're looking at here is everything that I've said so far is diving into your own personal journey and going, what is it that I'm out of alignment with that keeps putting these connections into separation? So it's going, if we're mirrors of each other, um, you need to both be holding enough of the alignment energy to bring it together. So, we're open in saying that the trust issues have been tough between us, given everything that we've been through. And, we thought we'd knocked this one on the head, but the headmaster's back in the room and trust became another major issue, and to the point where it pushed us out of alignment. These points of friction, he is my mirror. If I am holding it as a blocked energy in my energy system, I need to track it down. I need to go, why am I still aligning with the energy of mistrust? To the point where he needs to reflect the lesson back to me extensively enough that it takes us out of alignment. So, it's like we're able to have these levels of conversation, which is the blessing of where we are now and all the work that we've done, is we can go, it doesn't lie at the feet of one person or the other. We're clearly both out of alignment with the union if we're going through these lessons again. So this point of friction, if this is resonating for you, if you are still not in union with your twin, it's because there's a point of friction. The kicker is finding where it is and tackling those energies so that we can move them on, so that we can bring them into a point of balance that allows us not to tip into these spaces that feel like fear. It is when we tip into fear and anxiety and our ego on those energies that aren't healed that, kicks us out of harmony, kicks us out of union. So the reality is right 100% of the time. If you are not in union with your twin, it's because there is a point of friction. And Spirit is saying, right now, you're all going to figure out what those points of friction are. Righto, let's have a look into the divine masculine energy and see what's going on. And see if we can get some clarity around, points of friction from that perspective, and what these eclipses are pushing the masculine through, what Saturn going direct is pushing the masculine through, and what we can expect to learn and grow from. Let's have a look. Righto. Okay. Yeah, crossroads energy. Okay. And then we've got, oh, see, I'm not even kidding, am I? Do you see that about the trust thing? Holy moly. The High Priestess comes into the soul space. The King of Pentacles comes into the challenge. Oh, look, the healing comes in. And we sit in the pre-harvest. So 6 cards from the bottom of the deck. What have we got? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So our first three, we've got the King of Cups, the Death card, and the Judgment. Am I correct in saying the King of Cups was in there too? Yeah, there he is. King of Cups, and it all plays out in the same level for the divine, feminine, and masculine, the same level of energy. So it is this idea of taking action in love that's designed to serve. So here also, look, we've got this Death card. Now that Scorpio energy that comes in that says it is going to emphasize things that need to be let go of, right? With that south node, which is, it's a pole of the moon that, like, I'm not going to go into I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not going to try and sound like I understand the alls and everything. I just track it. So the south node in Scorpio, the energy that comes off the bottom of that is that we are meant to be challenged to release something around we're heading. And the other energy, like money and love, come into this so deeply around this Scorpio energy. So what we're looking at is an illumination of the intended path. Anything that was sitting in the dark is designed to have the obstacles removed. There has to be some action based from the divine masculine connected to love. Because it's the king, not the queen, we need action from the king. He's holding the cups in his hand. He needs to take action to close the door on negative patterns from the past. And here we've got the master back in the room saying the headmaster is making a judgment. Have you done what was required to hold the balance, like hold the frequency of union? What's the next level? We've got the Magician, the Justice card, and the Star. So this is pretty positive, right? So the likely outcome of this energy of going, the King of Cups needs to take action to close out a negative cycle because the headmaster's back in the room. Judgment is being called on connections. Here, the push is to transform. The Magician turns the energy from lead into gold. Justice is served. The headmaster's back in the room again. And the likely outcome is hope. The other energy of the star is to continue to follow the push from the universe, to trust that everything that is happening in this cycle is happening for the point of learning and growing. See all this energy being poured in here? It is like I am feeding these soulmate connections, I am feeding these cycles, and you have to trust that with each alignment, you are going to have work to do. Right? The current work under this is to transform the situation from lead into gold to serve justice. To serve justice. And we still have this Mercury Libra energy that's in play, that will sit there till the 17th of November-ish, where we're reevaluating the way we connect with people, right? The sword of truth, the sword of justice, the sword of balance. And this has to turn from lead into gold. So it wants us to remove the obstacles that sit in our way that prevent us from sitting in an energy of hope. Right, they're upcoming energies. That's digging a little deeper. What we've got in the push from the universe right now is the divine masculine sits at a crossroads. Do I go left or do I go right? Or what do I do? Currently, he is showing up in deceptive energy. And again, not to put Ricky under the bus, but this is what's played out in our scenario. So it's from a point of union that's played out. How is it playing out in your scenario? What deceptive energy is being exposed? For you, it could be completely different. It could be that your divine masculine is sitting in what appears, he might be showing the world he's happy and he's fine and he's got a million great things going on, and that this connection doesn't challenge him at all. Or he could be sitting there going, do I stay or do I go in my happy marriage? Because, his friends might be going, what the hell do you think you're going to do heading back to that connection? There's nothing to serve you there. Why would you leave what you've got to go and pursue what you've got over there? So whatever this crossroad is playing out for divine masculine, he's putting a really neat front on it for the world to see. So here is like he's sneaking away with the 5 swords, right? And leaving truth and justice in the ground. But the push over here, the next push is on for him to get red hot serious about anything that's fake in the energy, anything that's false, anything that's deceptive, anything that's not conducive to holding harmony in the connection, because the universe wants to turn from lead to gold. Now, in the soul space, this is a nice indication. We've got the high priestess, and we know our high priestess is the gatekeeper between the 5D and the 3D. So she'll be working really, really hard to bring signs and symbols into the divine masculine's world, so he understands what's playing out for him, what the lessons are, and he should be getting really, really specific. So if he's sitting here telling the world that he's really happy in his current scenario, it looks like the status quo will remain, but that's not the actual truth. He'll be getting signs and symbols from the universe to be able to go, you need to make a change, you need to make a move. Perhaps your name is showing up everywhere he goes, or he's seeing movies that remind him of you, or seeing songs that remind him of you. There will be a reason that he's at a crossroad and having to make some level of decision. The universe wants him to make a decision, but there's a false veneer over the top of what's going on. Okay, what is his challenge? Is to do the work. We had this a little bit too, didn't we, Divine Feminine, in this push down here, is that we're being asked to do some work too as the Queen of Pentacles. So our energy came through a little deeper in the read, where his is more a challenge, going, what are you going to do, Divine Masculine? You have got work to do. Are you going to get about doing what is required? The King of Pentacles is a leader. He moves forth and he has very clear ideas about what it is that he's going to do. And here is going, this is not a King of Pentacles. This is someone who's standing at the crossroads going, I don't know what to do. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I pursue scenario A or scenario B? And under the eclipse, the eclipse energies, or these moon energies, which is playing out for you, Divine Feminine, it's honestly, look at it. Taurus, direction. Where are we heading? Where are we heading? What do I need to release to move forward? Like I love that these two come out together, because it really is in alignment with what those node energies are with the eclipses coming forward. Produces a lot of indecision, doesn't it? But that ideal of going, the headmaster's back in the room, now you need to pass the test. So here, the advice from Spirit, wow, this is a good one. Divine Masculine is being asked to really look for answers within. Okay, so really, really being pushed to do some healing, take some time on focused contemplation or focused meditation, or whatever it is that gets him out of this space, the real world. Spirit is saying, my advice to you, Divine Masculine, is work really closely with the High Priestess and spend some time thinking, quiet contemplation. I don't even want to say meditation. I want to say contemplation. Quiet contemplation on all the signs and symbols and the way that the universe is pushing you into trying to understand the veneer that you're putting onto the world and the decision that you need to make. Path A, path B. We're getting to the point where you need to figure out the direction you're heading and release what doesn't serve you. The likely outcome is it puts him in the pre-harvest. So here is going, like the King of Pentacles knows what he's doing. So he's got his pentacle and he's working towards what feels like abundance. It's very clear, it's very direct on where he's going and what he's doing. And over here in our Seven of Pentacles, is like that's just as the challenge. Here he's picked it out of the garden, but he's still looking at all these other 6 pentacles, waiting for everything to line up perfectly for the abundance. Because the 8 of Pentacles is all about getting on the mastery, isn't it? It's moving into the kind of role that a King of Pentacles would have. But when you're sitting in the 7, you may have plucked one from the garden, but you're still looking over at the other 6 going, do I invest my time in waiting for all these other 6 ideas to come into fruition, or do I focus in on the task of ascending and growing and moving closer to harmonious union. Righto, let's have a look. Let's get some divine love oracle over the top of these energies. This is intense. It's really intense time for us all, isn't it? Over this next little phase. October was always going to be Rocktober in that energy that it rocked us, but it destiny. September was about the destiny going. You know, you have to, the actions we were taking from August to September were all preparing us for this moment where it should, you know, clarity should be raining down. We should be getting into super sharp focus on what it is we need to release, particularly around these ideas of fear, obsession, jealousy, and attachment. Because we're looking at where, you know, the energies of Scorpio. Scorpio is our eclipse energy, and it emphasizes those extra ideals. It's going to illuminate anything that was in the dark. So we succumbed. We succumbed. I hope you're faring better out there, Divine Feminine Masculine. Let me choose a card for Divine Feminine first. I want to shuffle one more time and go, what have we got? Righto. Ah, Divine Feminine. You can do this. I'm going to let this sink right into my heart. I remember when I drew this picture, I was back at art school, and I was feeling like I couldn't find my way. Oh gosh, direction are we headed? You know, I'm going, why am I at art school? And it was, I did not know how to go from, you know, drawing pictures into being an artist. And I think this is very similar on the twin flame journey. It's going, how do I move from being a divine feminine to being a twin flame divine feminine in the fullness of my mission? And sometimes it feels like this. I describe this picture as, and this is what I felt like when I was at art school, is going, you know, climbing Mount Everest in red high heels. But there was always something about the red high heels that said, you could do this. Red high heels had this feeling of, you know, I don't know, like Dorothy in her red high heels, they could take her anywhere. So I did a series of artworks, and I focused on it for a while. I did plenty of work around it, and just this ideal of, you know, the status of red high heels and the places that we could go in them, and to that ideal that we could climb Everest in red high heels. It's kind of how I'm feeling like under this energy, and maybe you're feeling it too, Divine Feminine, that as tough as this journey gets, there's a little voice inside that says, you can do this. Keep climbing, keep climbing. These red shoes were not given to you for no reason. The information, the learning, the knowledge, everything that this journey has delivered you is the reason that red shoes are important, because you've got to keep climbing. Those red shoes will take you anywhere. And to me, it's kind of like that twin flame doctrine. It's knowing what it's all about, having the understandings, because without them right now, I tell you, I probably wouldn't have got out of bed for a week. I probably would have just been in there bawling my eyes out, not knowing what any of this was about. Instead, the journey has taught me that the separations are as important as the union. Separateness and oneness are very, very big ideals to understand. And what's being learned when you're in separateness definitely feels like you're climbing high heels, climbing Everest in high heels. But the point is, you always have that ability. It's part of you. It's in those light codes, those DNA light codes. I've nearly finished that meditation too. It's been a really like challenging little time, but I've chosen to really invest my time in continuing to understand the journey and evolving. So I've all but finished putting together that meditation that helps awaken light codes. Who knows? It might be in the answers I need might be in doing those meditations. So I'm going to put them up on YouTube very, very soon. But essentially, Divine Feminine, you can do this. You were built for this. You were built for this journey. You were built to be able to wear red high heels and climb Mount Everest. All right, Divine Masculine, what have we got going on for you? Oh, look, I see you. Oh, this one makes me almost want to cry. Um, it because it, essentially this energy. Again, I did this artwork when I was at art college, and I was encouraged by a beautiful friend of mine to enter it in an art show, and it's these were done around a similar time, which is kind of why I'm relaying the story. Um, and I didn't know how to be an artist. I didn't know what art shows were all about. I didn't know how to present, but I took the encouragement and I entered it in the art show. And I didn't go to the opening night because I was so, shy and intimidated by the whole process. But essentially, I entered into a particular and I won the category. I won first prize. And my beautiful friend rang me and she goes, "Where are you? You just won first prize." And I was like, "What? What?" Like this, it was so incredulous to me that this particular artwork had been seen by the judges and been chosen favorably and had actually won. And it was like, you know, out of, if you look at all of these butterflies look the same, right? There's a million butterflies in this scenario, and there's one that's colourful. And I kind of think this is how twin flames see each other. And I really came to understood this principle way back when, that there'll be certain people, certain processes in your life that truly see you. For a bunch of, you could be walking in the crowd and you can just be one of the black and white butterflies, and the right set of eyes see you, and you are that butterfly. You are the one in full blown living color, and you are the one that stands out. And it doesn't matter the scenario. You're not forgotten because you're seen. You are seen and you are understood and you are set apart. And there's a million different reasons why this energy is important. It's like, I see you, not because of anything other than there's some level of soul process. Because I'm going to say this was not the best piece of art on display. Like I actually went, I was floored at the level of the caliber of art that, and it's why I didn't want to go to the opening. I was so intimidated by how incredible the other artwork was, and then to be seen amongst the many was like, it's not about, it's about the soul, it's about the energy, it's about all of these things. And twin flames hold this special vibe for each other, and it doesn't matter how many other butterflies cross your path. I see you, I see you, I see you for forever and a day. I see you. So for me, this is a pretty powerful card to come out in this reading. One more for the connection. Let's have a look. Oh, try not to cry. I'll have a cry when I'm done. I feel very emotional at the moment, and but I do. Again, thank you for all the support that we've had from the collective, and we do want to continue to help. That's from both of us. We both want to continue on our journey and learn and grow, and we remain close. We remain connected. Just got a little bit to work through. Righto. Let's have a look. Energy of the connection. Take your seat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know why this is powerful? You know why this is powerful? This sums up the whole bloody reading. And when you get that occur, it's like putting a big yellow bow around the reading and go complete. And you love it when a reading circles back on itself. Now, this particular, see, I really want to refer to the art at this point in time, because if you have a look what's in here, right, you see this chair here, right? It's old and it's ratty, and it actually says love is, right? And it's a version of love. And this red chair over here, you won't be able to see it, but also on this seat, it says love is. Now, we created this, this was an installation exhibition that I did with same lovely lady, my friend from art school. And in this, we'd both been through really difficult times with, domestic violence, and we were really shaking down what love looks like, in the grand scheme of things. And why I say this wraps neatly in a bow is because the very first card we drew out, Divine Feminine, was Seven of Cups. Now, for mine, people can choose to drink from the toxic cup and choose to sit in this seat, right? Deciding that love is controlling, love is abusive, love is not give and take, love is not unconditional. You can choose your version of love. And at this time, I'd already begun my twin flame journey, and I created this red seat that's, again, red, felt really powerful to me at the time, like it just had energy. And I'd written in it in gold writing, love is on this one. And it had an elevated form. It sat higher. It had more power. It had more understanding. And it didn't require to sell out who you were to sit in the seat. Now, here we've got the Seven of Cups, which says there's a bunch of toxic options in the Seven of Cups, but there's a bunch of beautiful ones as well. And Spirit is asking us to do the work to figure out the actions that you want to take towards drinking from a healthy cup of love versus a toxic one. And here it's like the same message. It's going, do you want to sit in the seat that is an evolved version of love, an unconditional one that comes from a, that higher frequency seat? Or do you want to sit in the lower vibe where you feel like love is tolerable, but it's sufferable? This is, I'm satisfied and I'm, like I like being alive and my life is satisfying and love is a beautiful thing. This is, life is sufferable, I'm not satisfied, and love is hard, love is pain, love is suffering. So that's a choice, the seat of suffering. Even though you get pain in this seat, this is the seat of suffering. It's saying take your seat, choose the seat that you want to sit in, and do the work that's required for our connections to hold the vibe that's required for the mission to lift the planet. Big reading, big reading. Okay, so I'm sending out so much love, and you know, thank you again for all the support I've received. And there was a lovely message there. I've had lots of beautiful messages, but I've just read one on YouTube there that said, this is a balancing, a universal balancing, in that Ricky and I have offered a lot of ourselves to help people, and this is our turn to realize that people want to help us too. And I took that really to heart, and I'm feeling the help, the love, and the support, and I've never really been in a position to receive that. Like, most of the time, I felt like I've had to do this journey pretty much on my own and figure it out on my own. See, I'm going to cry now because I feel like I've made so many beautiful friends via sharing the journey, and the love that you're giving back to me right now. I just want to know, I want you to know how deeply it's hitting me and how much it means to me, because I've never known it. I'm not going to cry on YouTube. I'm going to wrap this up now. And I'm going to send out a heap of love, and in faith, hope, and love, I'm going to say it's bye from me for now.